I'm doing a giveaway for PAX bundles. Stick around till the end of the video to find out how you can win. What is up, everybody? I'm NoLucksGiven here with your afternoon snap, and today I wanted to try something a little bit different. I was initially not sold on Astral Projection until I saw this deck list, which I believe comes from Regis, and this deck has basically only Ultron as an on-reveal card. It's also playing Mystique. I'm not sure if the Mystique and Cerebro are actually something that people are playing in this deck, but it seems funny regardless here, and being able to use Astral Projection to get Ultron for only 3 energy is just not really a way that I considered you could use the card, and that allows you to play it alongside Patriot or maybe even Cerebro on the final turn, all of which seems super sweet. And it made me think, what other ways can Astral Projection be used? That's kind of what I wanted to talk about in this video, because I did not initially see the vision for Astral Projection. I figured you just play it in a deck with a bunch of on-reveal cards or something, and you'd get more on-reveal effects, and that would be fine. But what if we just looked at the most powerful on-reveal effects in the game? And to do that, I sorted by energy and filtered to on-reveal and started to look at some 6-cost on-reveal cards to think, okay, well, which of these could we potentially build around with Astral Projection? And there's definitely some cool ideas here, but one thing that stood out to me is Dr. Doom, specifically because a lot of 6-cost cards, you want to utilize their effect on turn 6 because they're build around. Getting an early Spectrum trigger wouldn't really be that beneficial, as opposed to just the guaranteed 10 power from Dr. Doom's on reveal. And one other thing that I thought might be cute could be Arnim Zola, just because that could be another pretty powerful on reveal ability. And so here is what I have come up with, and there are a few other on reveals in this deck, but this is Doom Projection, and the idea here is to use Astral Projection on turn 3 to create a pair of Doom bots. That is a pretty good use for the Astral Projection, but ideally you are trying to get out Doom 2099 on turn 3 with either Zabu or Psylocke. Both on reveal cards, both could make your Astral Projections a little bit weirder, but they're worth it just to get out an early Doom 2099. And then if you can do that, then you just play 1 card every turn. That part is pretty straightforward. And you can potentially use Astral Projection on Arnim Zola to create a second copy of Doom 2099 and then start making 2 Doom bots each turn. That move is courtesy of High Voltage Mode, where I just did that. I showed that off in a YouTube short recently. But even just turn 4 Doom 2099, turn 5 Astral Projection on your Dr. Doom, and then turn 6 Dr. Doom. That's a lot of Doom bots. That's 5 power Doom bots, and then 3 Doom 2099 bots, and then Dr. Doom. So what is that? 5 plus 3, that's 11. That's a lot of your slots on the board filled up, and some bigger ones, especially from the original Dr. Doom, that I think could actually make this somewhat reasonable. Now, I've filled in the rest of this deck with some cards that I don't really know. I knew that I didn't want to play on reveal cards, and I wasn't exactly sure what I wanted to do with the rest of it, and that's why this video is a little bit different. This is a projection. I have not played a single game with this deck. I've been busy with the Sanctum Showdown mode. That's mainly just what I've been playing and creating some other content and things like that. So I have not really gotten a chance to test this out myself. Either of the decks in this video, I have not gotten to play these exact versions of. but I think that this could be interesting. It could have legs, and yeah, I'm curious if others want to try it out. Jennifer Kale is another way that you can just curve out into either Arnim Zola or Dr. Doom to have some high-powered final turns of the game. You can't use Jennifer Kale to get out Doom 2099, so in games where you are not... Oh, but you can use Lockjaw potentially to do some weird things. And then in games where you are not ramping out a Doom 2099, you'll want to have a powerful play on turn 3, and that can just be Astral Projection to hit Dr. Doom, or it could just be a Nocturne, Captain Marvel, Vision. We are just playing a bunch of move cards, which do provide some utility with Doom 2099 as well, because especially with Dr. Doom, you'll want to make sure that none of your locations are filled up, so that way you can get the most value from your 6-cost cards. And even Vision does have some use with like Arnim Zola or something to be able to move that around and just surprise your opponents in interesting ways. Man Thing, when you're making a bunch of 4-cost cards, just seems like a cool strategy as well. So there is Doom Projection. Again, this is just a projection of what could possibly be an interesting deck. And here is my other projection, C5. And again, we are using Astral Projection here on Dr. Doom, though we do have one other slightly different use for it. And no, it is not Rhino or Rocket Raccoon. You'll want to dump those out of your hand so that you don't Astral Projection them, but they are cheap enough that it doesn't really hurt you that bad. If you know, to just play them in your deck, you'll be able to get them out of your hand. And unlike the other Astral Projection deck, this deck will have, so the one awkward thing about the Doom 2099 deck, if you draw your Zabu or Psylocke late, and you already have Doom 2099 in play, you'll have to kind of hedge your bets a little bit, because you can't just dump the Zabu out of your hand and play the Astral Projection so that it guarantees hits on your Dr. Doom, because that will stop your Doom 2099 from activating for the turn. It could be useful or the correct play in some cases, like if you can otherwise set up like an Arnim Zola on Doom 2099, which is just such a high roll that like maybe you can afford to take a turn off. But I'm not sure about all of that. Now, another thing that I am not sure about is this deck entirely, but it is able to do something interesting, at the very least, which is the Ancient One's Tau Mandala. The Ancient One adds Tau Mandala to your hand, and Tau Mandala was made cheaper. It is now only a 2 energy card. And so, using Tau Mandala, because this is an on-reveal card, right? The Ancient One itself has on-reveal. You could just use Astral Projection as like the Ancient One without the 5 power body. That's not good. That is not what you're aiming for here. But what you do have access to now with the Astral Projection is you can play Ancient One on the final turn and then use the Astral Projection to copy the on-reveal text of the Tau Mandala, which will then copy the ongoing text of ideally a Cerebro, but also potentially as a backup plan, Miss Marvel. So that is the idea with Astral Projection in this deck, just some new untapped potential with Tau Mandala and the Ancient One being able to access that on the final turn. There's some other things in this deck that don't really work out that well, but like I said, these are just 2 ideas that I had, and I don't know that I'm gonna get the chance to play them, so I wanted to get these ideas out there and give y'all a chance to play with these kind of off the beaten path ideas that maybe you haven't thought of before. And that's it, just a quick one here. That is going to be it for me today. Here's some information on my giveaway. So here's how I'd like to do my giveaway for PAX bundles. I've got 6 of them, courtesy of Second Dinner, to give away, and I've done similar contests like this before where you can comment on my videos and enter for a chance to win. And I'm going to do the same thing this time. Every time you comment on one of my videos, limit once per video, but you can comment on every single one of my videos this season, and that will give you another entry. So if I upload 50 videos this season, you could enter up to 50 times. I'm not going to do any type of like code word or anything like that. It would make it a little bit easier on me, but I want anyone that comments anything to be eligible to win, even the people that have already commented on my videos the past 2 weeks for this season. And you can still go back and comment on those old videos if you want a chance to win. But here is what I am requiring. You to join my Discord. The link is in the video description. That is just going to be so much easier for me to give the winners their codes. Sometimes people win and I respond to their comments and I tell them to email me, and like spam filters pick that up, or people just don't receive the notifications on YouTube. So it will be a lot easier for me if you join my Discord. That is not the purpose of it. I do not care if people join my Discord. It is just going to make it easier for me to tell you if you have won this giveaway. So leave a comment on any of my videos and join my Discord so I can tell you if you've won something.